Hey there, can you hear me all right? And do you see the landscape and not upside down? Perfect. I thought I'll start a bit early, have a cigarette and wait for people to come in. Let me see, why do I not... Okay, on Stream Manager I can see how many are here. I think it does a very good job with the auto stabilizer, although I'm not entirely sure how this will look when we're actually on the drive, on the right. This basically is Winterthur, and I can pan around. We are on one of the hills around Winterthur. There's 7 hills. And this is the old town part that we look down on. You'll see a bit more. I put the camera eyes on my helmet already, and I'll put the helmet on and walk around a bit before we go on the ride. Now you're on top of my head. This looks fine, I think. Let me see. I have to check the angle, and of course the stream I see has a delay of about 10 seconds, so I have to stabilize myself and then wait for the view to adjust. But it's a nice view from here. Somewhere down here we can see the school I went to, the high school you would call it in English, I guess, or in American. Are they renovating the restaurant up here? Looks like it's a nice restaurant. And there you can already see my white Vespa. It's a small one. It's a 125 in white with a magic mushroom in the front. This looks nice. Everything okay. Now we'll take a little drive. Hey Marco. We'll take a little ride down from here. This is Goldenberg. And it wasn't the restaurant that gets renovated, just the house in front of it. I have absolutely no idea how loud I will have to talk during the ride, but probably I just won't talk much, and you'll just have to see where we go. First we're going through the forest. Holiday here today, so there's a lot of people. This is a very slow zone where we can only drive 30 kilometers per hour, which is about 22 miles per hour, I guess. Now we're nearing the local brewery. This is where Winterthur's beer Haldengut was produced. You can see it right ahead. We're not actually going there. Everything's closed today anyway because it's a holiday. see the local hospital up there. This is where they would take me if I would have an accident, which of course we won't do. Hi Zef. Hi Spuck. Hi Dodger. And hi Marco. The rail track crossing is closed right now, or if it will be closed later on. We'll have to see. Otherwise we'll have to find a new way. I first want to take you to the local football stadium where I work, doing the live ticker for the women's team. I have to pay attention not to hit the GoPro on the roof of this thing. Yes, we do have emotes, Will Dragons and I, with the help of Hufdras, or what he's called, added some emotes. I'm keeping my helmet on right now. This is the place where football lives in Winterthur. It's a relatively small stadium, holding less than 10k people, and the women's team plays back there on the small artificial grass field. And this is where the men play. I quite like it here. It's small. We have a special, don't know what it's called. The space where the people sit. This is the syrup curve for the little ones. Basically, parents will bring their children here where they make a lot of loud noises. We can't go through here, I think, unless it's open today. It's open, perfect. Because we just have to see this for a moment. This is Salon Erika, which is a very, very small art gallery with Yuri Gagarin on top. Closed right now, of course. It's basically just a container. I have absolutely no idea whether we can see inside. No. Hi, Yuri. A little bit of graffiti. Well, a little bit more of graffiti, of course, all around the stadium. My sugar sensor tells me I need to eat some gummy bears. Perfect, Zeph. Thanks. I'm always wondering, of course. I don't think we have Ada yet, right? Hi, Vinny. I don't quite know whether you can see this right now. Yes, you can. That's the food I'm eating. Okay, had to correct something. Now we'll drive to another quarter of Winterthur. I wanted to show wheel dragons that not everything is always Mercedes and BMW and expensive cars. So maybe we'll see some lower end cars in the lower end quarters of Winterthur. So this is more the industrial old center part of town. These were all factories, and nowadays they're just filled with stores and bars and stuff. If anyone would ask why I didn't overtake the BMW at the light, that's because while most people do it all the time, I don't want to do it on stream, because that would give someone reason to give me up to the police, and we don't want that here. Is open on a holiday. We're just leaving the main road for a bit. Not a Mercedes. Smaller cars here, like a Fiat 500 from Germany, again a Renault. Okay, we have a Kia, we have some VWs, some Mitsubishis, and a very old Renault. Whoops, okay, we cannot go there. Yeah, we do have an old town area. Would you like to see that one? We can go there next. Hi, Gwenery. have to make a little turn to go back to the center. Okay, Will Dragons, I did not place the Ferrari there. This is the industrial, more poor area of Winterthur. I didn't know there was a Ferrari. I'm sorry. Actually don't know whether we get to the center here. We'll see. I'm guessing we'll have to turn around. Better. Oh, I know this. This is the old train station of this part of Winterthur. Yeah, we'll get to the old town shortly. We just have to find a space to place the Vespa. not gonna race a Ninja, I'm on a Vespa. This ahead is the old town, and we'll park outside of it on the right hand side in about 500 meters. Okay, let's see. I think I will take you off the helmet now. Yeah. Okay, that's that. And now I need to free my mobile phone. Hi, chat. I know you don't want to see me, you want to see the old town. We're going right into it. And you'll see. I don't know if my hand reaches enough to show you a bit more. It's just a small leather jacket. Okay, now we're entering the old town part of Winterthur. This is one of the larger streets within it. When I was a child, this was a parking space, a parking lot where my father used to park his car when we went shopping in the old town. Now it's basically all just foot traffic and bicycle traffic. Up there you can see that America is not the only country with a flag fetishism. You have Winterthur and Switzerland flags there, and up here as well. Which bar, Marco? Which one did you mean? We have a delay, of course. This is where I used to go a lot for coffee. There's a China Bowl restaurant. Let's look at some windows. Yes, Marco, the first message was sent, I think. Ah, the Renegade, you meant. Yes, I know that one. There's karaoke there, but I've never been there for karaoke night. This is the main Marktgasse with lots of stores. This restaurant Zur Sonne is very good. If you want to have... Lisa is here. Hello. Everyone please say hello to Lisa and ask her to come back to Bonnie's offline chat. Italian restaurant. And yes, there's Starbucks in Switzerland as well. What the hell? A dentist which is about feeling nice. With narcosis and hypnosis. The Bangkok? Yes, of course. I've often gone there singing. This is Winterthur's city church, the Reformed one. And there's lots of little alleys. We should go singing sometime, Marco. This is where the left of Winterthur lives. They're closed today, of course, because it's the 1st of May. Asking everyone to go to the streets today to protest. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Marco, what do you think? Live streaming from the karaoke bar? This is a little street I lived in for about 10 years. In a street with lots of different colored houses, I lived in the grayest one possible. In this one. There was even, here you still see the remnants of the plaque I had. I had an actual plaque that read my name and that I'm a writer who lives there. We can go sing privately once and talk about whether we could ever stream it. Winterthur has nice names for stores. This is a store that uses alpaca and Pima cotton, no, not cotton, yes, cotton, for their stuff. This is always true. Here you can see that there's still older parts hidden behind things like this hotel. It's the police. To find some shadow because the black jacket is getting actually quite hot, but I don't have a hand free. Come on. Yes. Oh, bye, Marco. Okay, let's see what we can see if I put you down here. You can see nothing or a bit of tree. I had to open my jacket. It's getting too warm now. Classic. Yes, but don't tell anyone. Again, low sugar, so I need to eat more of those gummy bears. After the cigarette, of course. Okay. Okay, we're streaming for almost an hour. I want to check what the battery says. Okay, it tells me I have 54% battery left in the GoPro. So probably a 2-hour stream is the maximum for the GoPro battery. I have more batteries, but I have absolutely no idea what happens if I change the battery. I think the app would just end the stream. Although it doesn't usually end the stream. Maybe that's the reason for it. Hi Dova. I'm not sure if we added any agas. I think we only added the ones that Will and I usually use. This is a nice bike. Quite a new Moto Guzzi, it seems. And here's my Vespa. Frick, the sticker is coming off. I guess it wasn't made for traffic. Let me see, what do I do now? I need more hands, basically. I have to mount you to the helmet again. Sorry, chat. Okay, where to next? I think I'll take you again up to the nice hill where we were at the very beginning, which I'm guessing most of you missed. I have no idea which would be the fastest way up there. But it doesn't really matter, because otherwise I'll just show you a bit of Winterthur while we're going there. So this is still part of the old town that we see ahead. This building almost burnt completely down about 10-20 years ago. Adhering to all the do not overtake cars at the light rules. But I don't want to give anyone an idea. actually know the exact way I have to go. I just know I have to go up the hill, and we're doing that. This little street is called the Roman Street, Römerstraße, because up here somewhere there was the Castellum Winterthur, which was the original, or we think the original settling of the Romans here before it became a town later on. This is definitely the richer part of Winterthur, where you find lots of single household houses, but you also find just apartment buildings very close by, which of course are much cheaper. We have lots of schools. Or what you'd call K1 through 6, I guess, or 1 through 9. And then a bit less for 9 to 12 and high schools separately. I have to actually start reading the names of the alleys to know where I'm going, but I think I'm on the right path now. Yes I am. Perfect. We're going up to Goldenberg, Bäumli, that's the lookout vantage point up there. So a little forest road now. Yes, with 2 cars, this is basically a situation where you have to find a place where you can overtake or pass other cars. There's not really overtaking here. It's meant pass. Why is there a car in my spot? Oh, I guess I'll park here. Yes, it's a 2-way road up the hill. You just have to arrange yourself with the others. Let me think. Keep the helmet on. Okay. Do I have everything? Yes. Yeah, this is basically where you'd take your lover to go kissing at night. I'll have to sit in the shadow for a moment. Let me take off my backpack. And then you. Hi Chet, you are my helmet. Let's see where we put you for the best to you. Why didn't this update? Okay, this is a nice view, I guess. Turn you a little bit. Yeah, that's true. Day view is nice as well. At night, of course, you see those are just the hills nearby. If the air was clearer, you would see the mountains behind them. Those are just the smaller hills around Winterthur. So, how was stream so far? Can you actually hear and understand me when I talk during riding the bike? Nice. I'll have to take a look at the VOD because I don't know how much of traffic noise and the noise by the Vespa itself and the wind is influencing it. I'm streaming in 720p only because I wasn't sure whether the connection would be stable enough for 1080, and maybe the battery would also be more of a problem if I did 1080. We're now at 40%, so I used 60% for 1 hour and 13 minutes. Yeah, so probably more like 100 minutes of battery life. It would be different in the car, of course, because I can connect a USB cable there, so the battery would be at 100% when I leave the car. Right, power banks doesn't quite work for riding the Vespa, I think. Well, with a long cable I could put the power bank in the backpack. That would work, of course, that's true. I actually have that. I think I have a power bank with me. Let me quickly check. I don't think I'll make the stream too long today anyway, but I have to check whether I actually brought the power bank. No, just more cigarettes and snacks. No, here's the power bank. Ta-da! With a USB-C cable, but a rather short one, so this wouldn't quite work. This wouldn't quite work for putting it in the backpack, of course. But theoretically, I could charge it while we're parked here. Yeah, of course, I have longer cables at home. I basically have this here to charge my iPhone when I do live ticker for the women's football team. Oh, this is actually nice. All right. The iPhone, of course. I mean football, as in the real football, the one where there's the World Cup this year. You're German, you should call it Fußball. At the beginning of stream I went from here to the stadium. Nee, das ist nur Soccer im amerikanischen Englischen und bei den Australiern. Die Briten sagen Football. I should have a more rectangular... Yeah, I think so too. I started watching the team when it was brand new and there were no one in the audience except for the parents. So I decided to just do a live ticker, and some of my, back then it was on Facebook, some of my fans from the slam poetry scene started reading my live ticker and then started coming to the games. That's true, actually. I'll do that when I get home, or you can do it if you want. I'll go stand in the way. Let me get rid of the cigarette first. I think I'm gonna end stream and then ride home and meet you all in offline chat. Real air outside actually makes me tired, I think. Or I just hadn't had enough caffeine. Dova, do you have an idea? When I end stream from the GoPro's Quick app, it doesn't actually end stream directly. It somehow just disconnects the camera, but stream on Twitch stays live for some reason. Maybe that's what I thought of today. Maybe that is so you could actually exchange the batteries and then turn it back on. But there's no way to actually end stream. Or what I could try, let's see, I could actually try to switch to the iPhone. It asks me to stream from this device. I don't think. Oh no, I can't. That's okay. No, this doesn't work. Okay, so I cannot actually change. No, does it work? Choose a category. Finished. Okay, that clearly doesn't work. No, I cannot end stream from Twitch app because I didn't start it on Twitch. I started it on the Quick app, and I'm using the Twitch app for reading chat right now and to see my stream, of course. But I don't see an option to end the stream. Because the Twitch app is not the app that is live right now. Is there like a chat command that the streamer can do? No, it's not forever. It's just I think once I actually close the app, it ends the stream. I'll try. Let's see what happens. I'll go to the Quick app and end the stream there, which means that you will see basically just the camera not connected screen, and then I'll try to end it right afterwards. So just tell me when it switches to the F screen, and then tell me when it actually goes offline, okay? Thank you for being in the stream. Thank you for enjoying Winterthur and the ride around. And see you in offline chat later on. Bye.